Here we are in the middle of 2021, and if you just said to me around 5 years ago that I'd be making this video, I'd have probably laughed in your face, to be honest. Now, I don't want this video to be a giant scrutiny of Call of Duty where I just sit here and whine for 10 minutes, even though that's probably what the franchise deserves right now. But I want to present to you guys and girls some cold, hard facts. That's what she said. That have led to the community to get to where they are these days and why we feel the way that we are feeling right now. And firstly, it's no shadow of a doubt that over the last few years, the COD community has felt more and more frustrated, disjointed, and just plain annoyed with the development team and the lack of, let's say, content, communication, and just general support for the franchise. There always seems to be this crazy hype when a new game is coming out. Activision pay all this money for these crazy trailers to make everybody buy their game, and then once everybody has, it's just kind of like, well, we've got the money, see you next year. It's not funny. So anyways, I did some research on what I actually wanted this video to be, and just by looking at trends on YouTube, I literally typed in the word Call of Duty, and my feed was just full of videos either slating the franchise, talking about how bad the current condition of the game is, or even just typical discussions of SBMM and do we actually need a Call of Duty every year. And to type in Call of Duty and to see that as the first thing that you type is really, really worrying. And more videos are appearing on YouTube in regards to people actually moving back to Modern Warfare multiplayer. And if you'd have checked my last video on the page, which you should if you haven't already, by the way, you'll see exactly that's where I'm going as well. And I highly recommend check it out. It's one of my favourite videos I've created so far. So if you do, cheers. Appreciate it a lot. Now, the scary part is that even when you compare all three of these games right now, so we're talking Warzone, we're talking Cold War, we're talking Modern Warfare, all of the recent and, let's say, most relevant CODs right now, none of their numbers on Twitch are really outstanding. Right? Warzone continues to obviously carry the series on its back with the ever-popular BR franchise, but looking at it against the other games, they still seem to fall really short. Cold War has consistently got less viewers than Modern Warfare on Twitch, and for a brand new COD game that's been out for just over half a year or so, I've never seen so much disinterest in a COD title in the 14 years that I've been playing the game. I generally believe that if it wasn't for League playing system in Cold War right now and its active CDL/comp side of it, the game would be fully just dead and buried. And for a lifelong COD fan, that really hits hard. So maybe you're asking at this point, or if you're living under a rock, you know, why? Why is everybody complaining? Why are people not happy with the franchise? And why is it getting so much stick right now? Let's take a look. I personally believe that lack of competition in the industry has made it extremely incompetent. And what I mean by that is the developing team. And of course, obviously, we've got Battlefield 6, Halo Infinite. All of these are in the pipeline right now. Great. But very few games are able to hold player attention. So COD probably doesn't feel the need to have to step up their efforts to what they may have done a few years ago. I mean, sure, where would everybody go to if you weren't playing COD right now? Yeah, sure. Valorant, maybe. Yeah, great. Apex, yeah, maybe Rainbow Six. But in my opinion, it's just not enough. You know, competition is good for the industry. It's good for any industry. And right now in the gaming industry, there's very much a lack of it. Now, in Cold War, content in Season 3 has definitely picked up a little bit with the introduction of, you know, the new maps, new Mantel. We had Diesel, Standoff came back and whatnot, and then obviously the Rambo pack. But a lot of people felt like they fell short, that they weren't as good as what they were bigged up to be. But compared to what we're also, you know, used to seeing previously in the COD franchise, it's also just not enough content for a lot of people. You know, if you do still play the game, you probably know by now that you'll need to use either the 74U or the LC10, you know, a Krig or something to even have a chance to last the SBMM that's going on in the game right now. And that's if you even manage to pass the laggy servers and issues that I've been having when playing the game, because it's all jittery and there's all sorts of, you know, audio issues going on and whatnot. That's why I personally moved back to Modern Warfare. Even though the game is, you know, far from perfect, but from a pub's point of view, aka public games, if you don't know what pubs are, in general, just stability point of view, the game is a lot more polished and offers the best and, let's say, probably most active multiplayer experience that we've got to us right now. And going into the franchise store, a lot of the skins don't really make sense to the Cold War era, if you ask me. Not to mention that most of the bundles are around 1,600 to 2,400 CP, aka COD points, which can set you back a lot of money. We're talking like £16, $20 for just one pack. And they're not even that amazing in my honest opinion. And that's a lot of money considering we spent around £60 to £80 per person for a game which still doesn't feel that polished around 7 months into its lifespan. Now, I like to keep up with the developer thoughts and tweets as much as possible and see their thoughts on the franchise, but people like, you know, Tony Flame and Vonderhaar are barely even speaking about their game anymore, and, you know, considering how much they bigged it up and sold it on pre-release, no wonder everyone's just so pissed off at the moment. Now, I haven't played Warzone in actually so long that I could not find any footage of the gameplay from when I did used to play it when it first dropped this time last year. So, as you know, BRs obviously aren't really, you know, my selection of game when it comes to it, but whatever I see on social media, media is people still complaining about, you know, hackers in every single game of Warzone at the moment, despite Raven constantly tweeting that hundreds of thousands of people have been banned since the game came out or the concept came out. Now, obviously, as you know, it's free to play. It's not hard to make another account. We need IP bans. We need a strong anti-cheat. But, you know, we've been preaching this forever now. I don't think it's ever going to happen at this point. You know, especially when you've got all these hundreds of thousands of dollars tournaments out there, you know, on the line where big creators, influencers, and Warzone, let's say pros as such, are playing for a lot of money. Now, it's a must. But apart from this, the COD team seems to communicate better with Warzone generally. They seem to update the game a lot and obviously make a lot of quality of life changes as well. This is their clear new direction and focus for where they're going, where their content in future. But that leaves, you know, the OGs from the zombie and the multiplayer communities, including myself, you know, feel a little bit left out from the process. Now, Modern Warzone from Twitter, the Modern Warzone account, spoke about an interesting concept of COD apparently adding a 6 to 12 month battle pass to their games and incentives using a free COD title in there. Now, what do you guys think of this? Let me know down in the comments. Do you think this is just a money-making scandal again, or do you think this is a redemption to allow us to get extra content and better savings for us in the future? We know what Activision's like. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. Now, all I do know is the next couple of months for Call of Duty fans are probably going to be a rocky one, with the rumours of Modern Warfare 2 on the grid, but obviously no confirmation. It is a little bit of excitement for the community, I guess. Although, this being said, COD 4 was my favourite ever game, and favourite ever game in the COD franchise as well, and the remaster for multiplayer in that game, in my opinion, just did not do it any justice. It was graphically great, but the clear incentive for money, supply drops, and corporate greed were all there, and it left a very bitter taste in a lot of people's mouths. So I've got a feeling it'll probably be the same if they try to do, you know, the same thing with Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. And finally, Call of Duty World War 2 Vanguard, which is suspected next release game for COD, is already seeing critique and being slammed. The yearly cycle of releasing COD games just to milk the community is wearing thin, clearly, on a lot of people who claim there hasn't been a proper Call of Duty since Black Ops 2. And I kind of agree, although I did like BO3, BO4, man, I still do have a lot of love for Modern Warfare as well. Now, hear me out. How about a COD multiplayer game that remains a continuous process, kind of like COD Mobile, but for consoles and PCs too? You know, Modern Warfare, clean game engine. We're talking like all the best maps, guns, modes from over the years. You know, constant dev support, new additional maps to complement the game. And a shit ton of camos, prestiges, and content to grind. That'd be the dream. This consistent process of, you know, you getting dark matter and doing these things and it not just being completely irrelevant after a year's time. Obviously, they'd lose out on their yearly cycle of selling games, which is probably why they won't do it. But in my opinion, that would seriously save the multiplayer scene so hard. I'll leave that thought with you. If you did enjoy today's video, please make sure to like, subscribe, turn them notifications on for more videos inbound. 10K coming soon. See you on the next one.